Hey, everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Mosensia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Mosensia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is illusion and those who love will be the first go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Mosensia has garnered great reviews. In E11 enjoys by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassie, Boris Riley, and Manales. So grab your copy today before it goes missing by Mia Mosensia. Available on Amazon. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com on over 40 podcast platforms in over 100 countries, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also, Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, Apple Music, and coming soon to Hamilton Radio, Oldies FM, Diamonds Radio, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com and check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. T-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, and hoodies, and baseball shirts, and more. Get them 24/7, Amazon.com, and check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Mosensia for great books like Missing, Once, and Wrinkles. Also, cool merchandise like t-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, and phone cases, and more. Amazon.com/Mia Mosensia. Check it out today. I'll support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, themikewagnershow.com. You can buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com at the Mike Wagner Show. Make sure you do so today. We're here with a terrific gentleman who's an acting coach and founder of the Thompson Approach, a 15-step approach method. Also, part of the 99, the Unagency. It's also got a terrific podcast that's on Apple and Spotify, another podcast. He caught the acting bug in 1997, auditioned for The Wizard of Oz. He'll tell you about that. It wasn't cowardly about it, too. We'll give you a heads up on that. He appeared in numerous commercials and also featured in Law and Order, The Good Wife, and more. And he also uses the various methods to teach actors and actresses like Stanislavski, Strasberg, Viola Spolin, and the Actors Foundation, also Adler, and more. We'll talk about that. Live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studios in somewhere in beautiful downtown Michigan, the amazing acting coach and founder of the Thompson Approach, and also the podcast called Real Actors and Real Answers. Ladies and gentlemen, the amazing coach, David Thompson. David, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. Wow, what an introduction. I don't know what to say. I appreciate that.
Well, I think you should probably just take a bow or just go break a leg. I think those are 2 approaches you should do.
That's true. That's true.
And of course, you've been an acting coach for quite some time. You're the founder of the Thompson Approach, a 15-step approach program. You're part of the 99, the Unagency. You caught the acting bug in 97, auditioned for The Wizard of Oz at the Richmond Community Theater. You appeared in numerous commercials, also appeared in Law and Order, The Good Wife, and more. He used various methods to teach actors and actresses like Stanislavski, Strasberg, and also Actors Foundry, the Meisner technique. We'll talk more about those. You also are a host of an amazing podcast that's on Apple and other outlets right now. And before we get into all that, David, tell us how I first got started.
Well, how I got started. I always wanted to be a Disney animator. I love to draw, and I was pretty good, and I still am. Once in a while I pick up a pencil, but that was my goal. That was my focus, you see. And then one day, my mother called me at home, and she said, in the local paper, which was called The Voice at the time, which I think is still in existence, there's auditions for The Wizard of Oz. And I said, Mom, that's great. And she goes, why don't you try out? Expand yourself. I said, my stage is on a drawing board. You know that, And then she said, will you do it for me? I go, oh. Of course. How can I say no to that? So
you weren't cowardly about it either, too. So
right, exactly. I didn't know heads or tails of it, but I went, and I was so nervous. But I got up there, shaking my hand, as holding the script while strangers watched me that I didn't know, called an audition. And I did, and then I got a principal role as the doorman, who rang that bell?
Who rang that bell?
I could always do voices. I've done voices since I was a child, and they liked it. And they asked me to be in the play.
Wow.
And it was like, and it was 2 to 2.5 months of steady. It's a lot of work, preparation for live theater. And once the opening night and it was full house and some, I remember they laughed when I came out. And I thought, I can affect people. I love to draw, but I can affect people. This is amazing. And from then on, it's like, thank you, Mother. I started to do more, and more, and just test the waters. Where do I fit in this business if I do it all? But then I just started, and then I went to college and studied it, Wayne State University, Oakland University, and working, and also doing community theater. Lots of community theater, learning about myself, because acting is all about self-discovery. The more you know yourself, the easier it is to put yourself into a role. Life is like that too, Yeah, and then I started to branch out into film and things like that, and I went to California, went to New York. Like I said, self-discovery. It's not it's different. Everybody in this business, as in life, are different. It's not the wrong thing to do. It's not the right thing to do. It's your thing to do.
That's really interesting. And what was that one precise moment that simply influenced you into what you're doing for the rest of your career? Besides, being up on stage, being doorman, what else? Or was that one precise moment that just simply said to you, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life?
Ooh, that's a big question. Searching my subconscious library here. I would say when I first, here we go. All right, yeah. Macomb Community College, Nancy Arnfeld. It's a community college. When it comes to school, I want to tell everybody this, and this is what I've learned. It's not the size of the university, the size, it could be a community college, could be a workshop, whatever it is. People, if you have fire, if you have passion towards something, that is what matters. What's inside the doors, the people inside are more important than the structure on the outside, Ego takes a hike. So, but she was one of the best people I've ever met to teach acting. She taught me, she was rigorous and she was hard on people, especially me, but it brought out what was already in me that I didn't know, Nancy was a fantastic professor there for theater. And that's where I first thought, wait a minute, this fulfills me. It's something you can't explain. You just are, and that's when I took it even more seriously. Yeah. Okay. I'm forever grateful for her.
Okay. And who are some of your favorite actors, and who are some of your favorite actors growing up, along with some movies you enjoyed watching?
Well, the one, there's a lot, but the one favorite actor is Jimmy Stewart,
Jimmy Stewart. You mean
Stewart,
the real Jimmy Stewart, where It's a Wonderful Life? You mean that?
It's a Wonderful Life, because
yeah, he did have a wonderful life. Yeah, that's right.
And I tell you what, when I moved to California, I auditioned for It's a Wonderful Life for George Bailey, and it was called Lifehouse Theater. They still are in existence, and they still are really pumping them out there. They're very popular in California. 16 shows. And I learned that was a dark story. I mean, it's entertaining, don't get me wrong, okay? But when you're in it, even George Bailey, even Jimmy Stewart himself said that it was one of the hardest roles he's ever done, and I can appreciate that in my own way. because you're dealing with life and death and liars and truth sayers and family and all the things that really mean life to make it wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
So when I played it, it was a lot of work. There was over 600 lines that I had to memorize, but till I can always see from then on, that was back in 2002, he stayed with me. Once in a while, I have the mannerisms and they just come out like this, not that I was doing that on stage, mind you, but some things just stay with you for the rest of your life. That was a pivotal moment also in my life, playing that role. I would love to play it again, actually.
Mm-hmm. And what else do you consider most challenging role that you've had or challenging roles?
Okay, we're going back to it's colorful. I have at different times I've gone back to Richmond Community Theater to do different plays. And one time back in 2011, I played in the movie version, just to give you an example, Arsenic and Old Lace with
Mm-hmm.
Cary Grant. I played Jonathan in the movie. If you haven't seen it, if you haven't seen it, see it. It's funny, but it's not funny. It's like an Abbott and Costello movie, except it's scary. He's a sociopath and he goes on a killing spree and then he comes home to visit. And it's the exact opposite. Don't be afraid. It's the exact opposite of who I am. And I learned, and once again, that director, she was very hard on me to the point where I started not to get along with her. And she pulled me aside and she said, "You know what, David, I know I've been hard on you." I said, "Yeah, you have." And she said, "It's because I see so much in you." And I said, "What are you talking about?" "Well, I know there's more in you. And that's why I'm sort of picking on you." That's what she said. And I said, "Okay, I appreciate that." And from then on, during the rehearsals, we got along better. But that was a dynamic role that I played. I would like to play it again, actually, because it was a lot of fun. And I actually scared people in the audience. I didn't mean to. One couple, they brought their 8-year-old son, and I'm thinking, why did you do that? And they brought him up to me, and I have these scars that the makeup artist put on me so I can look the part. And I kneeled down to him, because if I must say, I've always been pretty good with kids. I kneeled down to him at his level, and he's like, a little scared. And his parents are standing behind, wanting me to say something so he won't have nightmares. I said, "Look, Halloween, how you dress up?" Mm-hmm. "Yeah." "Well, this is the same thing. It's all make-believe. It's all fake. Because on the outside, off of that stage, I am a regular guy, and I'm fun. And at least people say I'm fun. And, and then he gave me a big hug around the neck, which is like stellar. It's like, wow. And then they thanked me, which was a double blessing, the parents, and that was fine. But that sometimes actors should always seek out. I learned this from Nancy again, Macomb Community College. They should seek out extraordinary roles for them that will make them stretch, because that's how you grow. You grow in being uncomfortable, and that's in life too. If you want to learn something and you're not sure about it, try it, learn it. Of course, you're going to maybe be scared and excited and nervous and whatever. That's part of life, and that's how you grow, just the way it is.
Mm-hmm. And certainly indeed as well, too. You also talk about, being on a number of commercials. You've been in Law and Order, The Good Wife. You also teach a number of techniques as well, too, in your Approach and Academy. But first, listen to the Mike Widener Show at the MikeWidenerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget, Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. It's 1-800-303-3960 or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international war-ring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love will be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews, and Eve 11 enjoys by how its celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forrest Riley, and Eminems. So grab your copy today for Girls Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com and over 40 podcast platforms heard in over 100 countries. Take the Mike Wagner Show on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com and check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia for great books, merchandise, and more. Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia. Check it out today. Also support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, themikewagnershow.com. You can buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com at the Mike Wagner Show. Make sure you do so today. We're here with the terrific acting coach and founder of the Thompson Approach, a 15-step approach, and also the 99, the unagency, David Thompson, here on the Mike Wagner Show. And caught the acting bug in 97 and auditioned for The Wizard of Oz, and things rolled from there. You also been in a number of commercials. You also appeared in Law and Order and The Good Wife. And tell us about some of those, especially about Law and Order and The Good Wife, and maybe some of your favorite memorable commercials or so. I got a little tongue tied there.
Well, New York. When I first went there, I bought a New York book for dummies, those dummies books, because, hey, I didn't know. Preparation, this is not my quote, okay, but I live by it. Success is when preparation meets opportunity. You don't you don't know you want success. You don't know when the opportunity will come. So you prepare. You're always in the middle. Sort of like life and death, and you live in the middle. Same idea. So after I did my homework, I decided to move to New York City. It was a tad expensive, so I found a place in Elizabeth, New Jersey, and it was a room. I was surrounded by. It was challenging just living there because I was surrounded. It was a Puerto Rican Spanish community. I don't know those languages, See, I mean, I can do a little bit. They were very,
I see you.
They were very nice to me. I'll tell you, a lot of support there, very genuine people. So every day I slept there, but every day I was in New York City. I took a 45-minute train ride to New York City. I did student films at NYU, New York University, for the graduate sect, and they need actors, by the way. So anybody out there wants to really learn, okay, volunteer or even go. But if you can't go, if you're not going to the university, volunteer there. And then someone told me, actually, at the New York University, while we were waiting for our auditions and things, that central casting, I go, what is central casting? Well, central casting is a place that is from East Coast to West Coast, and they need background artists, i.e. extras, okay? And that's how I got into The Good Wife and Law and Order. That was a learning experience. And I want to tell you, I encourage people to do this all the time, speaking as a coach, is that networking is so important. Don't shun, don't poo-poo being an extra in a film, because yes, they pay you. Yes, they feed you pretty well. But also, you learn just by observing. You learn lighting, casting, directing. You connect with people that are working on their own independent films, working on this, working on their entrepreneurship, and you start to grow as a human being. You start to, it's fun, it's fascinating, it's a lot of work. But I remember there was one time, I got to tell you, I'll never forget, on The Good Wife. Okay, it was like 2 a.m. We were in Brooklyn. Okay, I had to take the subway there. Now the way it's set up many times in a studio for a television set, TV show, excuse me. The atmosphere has to be set in a certain way. Remind you, it was 2 a.m, and yet they had the lighting and the background in the windows to portray daytime. So it's kind of messes with your brain after about 8-10 hours. Okay. And, it's like, then you walk out, it's like, wait a minute, it's dark. But there was one time, I'm getting to something. There was one time on The Good Wife. And this is exciting. All you actors out there, listen close, because you never know what's going to happen. And that's the beauty and the excitement of being an actor. Okay. So I'm an extra, and I'm sitting in the courtroom. If you know anything about The Good Wife, it's a good show, great show. And the director, he points me out. He said, you, come here. I go, okay. It was a casting director. Brought me over, introduced me to the director. And so the director had me, he liked my look. That's a big thing. Sometimes you don't need to act in order to act. Okay. And he put me in the forefront of a scene where the principals, the real actors, okay, of the show, they were behind me. And I was to lead them out of the scene, away from the courtroom. Excuse me. And so I didn't get it at the first time because honestly, I was so tired. And there was a boom mic, above me, and the cameras, just 2 cameras, I think it was. And he led me out. Now, directors, I've never seen this happen before, but they do it. They go like this. So I'm walking out and he's going like this. And we do a couple of takes, which is very important to get it right. Okay, get the lighting right, get the movement right, and everything else. Okay, so I'm going like this. And so before I'm standing there waiting for my cue, and I go, and Julia Margolis, beautiful lady, I turn around, she smiles at me, I go, whoa. I'm standing in front of her, it's like, okay, this is great. I'm starting to wake up. And so I led them out, and I went one way and they went the other and did their rest of their scene. But what I'm telling you this for is, number one, it was a lot of fun. Number two, extra work can pay off. There was a girl that I got to know there. Her name was Isis. What a name, Isis. It's a beautiful lady. And they gave her a couple of lines.
Nice.
And she was a background artist. You don't necessarily have to be in AFTRA or SAG in order to get lines. I say that carefully, but it's really up to the director. If they see something in you, they're going to use you. I had that happen too. I must tell you this little story of, I was in a movie with Drew Barrymore, and I was standing in the Kennedy airport talking to my friends that I've met and laughing and stuff like that. Once again, something happened where the casting director pulled me out of the line of people who were acting as, passengers getting ready to board. And they put me in a scene with around her and around her then boyfriend. Okay. So I was in an actual scene. I still have it, I can look it up. And the scene, I'm telling you, was like 3 minutes long, and it took about 3 hours to do.
Really? Wow. How many retakes did they have to do?
I don't know. And I was green at the time, and I didn't have lines. Remember this when I'm about to tell you, okay? Now, acting is life, life is acting. That's what I teach at Thompson Approach Academy, okay? Mm-hmm. And which is my own business, and it's growing, and I'm excited about it. But I was standing there, and his first name was Justin. His last name escapes me for some reason right now. But he ran in, and what he was supposed to do, which he did, he bumped into me.
Ooh.
Okay. And he turns around this is, he turns around and he's to say, sorry. Okay. I didn't have any lines, and yet I did this. Okay. I go, the natural thing to do is say something that's in, normal life. So I go, it's okay.
Nah.
And I heard cut.
You're like,
and
oh,
I go,
crap.
I wasn't really sure at the second what I did wrong. So they came up to me. Don't say a word. They were very nice. They could have dismissed me and used somebody else, but they didn't. And I said, okay, so he went back in his car, he got out, did the same thing again, a retake, and he did it again. And I was to turn and look a little irritated, and that's what I did. Acting is an adventure. It can be very long and tedious, but you grow astronomically, if you sink your whole life into it. And it takes sacrifices, time, money, people, especially relationships. Okay. Some people understand it or at least appreciate it. Other people, they don't get it and they don't want a part of it, but that's life. Like Frank Sinatra. That's life,
That's what people say.
Exactly. I love that song. It's great.
Oh my gosh, that's one of my favorites too. And he talked about being immersed in parts and everything. It sounds more like the method acting back in the day. And Robert De Niro, oh my God, he was a master of it. Jackie Gleason, it's like, oh my gosh, it's like they really just marinated into method acting.
Right. Absolutely. Method acting, there's a lot of misinformation out there about it. My acting, the way I teach, my program, the way I teach is if you've taken Meisner, if you've taken Stanislavski, if you've taken Uta Hagen's teaching or Spoilen, mine those are masters, okay, of the acting world, history, mine, the way I teach complements those. They don't interfere. The methods and techniques that I give are very humanistic. They're very common sense, but in an active way. I'm not going to give too much away here, but they complement what you've already learned and they enhance it. I've worked on the 2008 is when I woke up one day. Literally, I woke up one day and I know it was God tapping me on the shoulder. And he gave me a word about this, what is now the Thompson Approach technique, So I grabbed a pen, have you ever been inspired like that? It's like an epiphany.
Many times it's like, and if you don't get 5, 6, 7 times, you almost get tugged or something, or it's like a spirit would just like, just hand you a pen and paper, like they'll just lead you. It's like you try to fight it, like go to the bathroom, he goes, here, you go to it.
Exactly. Creativity comes at inappropriate moments. It interrupts your flow of your regular day. But that's why you always keep, I don't care if you're an actor or with your show, which is great. I love your show.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Fine artist, whatever you're doing, dancer, singer, keep a notepad, something where you can jot down a note. Okay. Because it's like a butterfly. It's going to fly away and you knew it was there, but sometimes it's rather hard to retrieve if you can retrieve it at all in the same way. So be alert to that as a creator. So
that's rather interesting. And we'll go over some of the methods as well, too, that, Stanislavski, also Strasberg, and also Chekhov as well, too. And also Meisner, maybe just touch a few of the methods and what they are and how can they be infused, just go over just a few of the methods that are included in the Thompson approach. Like I said, Adler, Meisner, Stanislavski, it's just like, just cover a few of the methods.
Sure. No, I'd be glad to. The first name that you just said was Chekhov. Now, Chekhov, he was originally, he was an actor. Okay. That became an acting coach and a teacher, phenomenal one from Russia. And It's basically, I don't want to say basic. It's so much involved, but I'll give you the icing on the cake. Okay. I highly recommend that because Chekhov is about physical movement. And in this day and age with high tech, low touch, movement is all the more important. Any type of acting that you would do or life requires movement. Like I'm moving my head. You have your hand on your chin. You are moving. That's activity. ACT, activity, exactly. And what Chekhov does for one of the techniques, Michael Chekhov, is he teaches compel, impel, and repel. Just that's icing on the cake, where you're compelled to do something, you're impelled to do it, which is just an intention really, and you're repelled. Okay, we've all heard of that word. Okay, I don't want that. You're compelled to lean forward and listen more, take an activity in, participate in it. Wow. Or you're impelled, which is thoughtful. It's not as forceful. But he teaches you how to physically move your body in a certain way, giving you suggestions. There's a lot. If you have the privilege in New York or Chicago or California, or any place that teaches it, okay, take the class. If it's online, it's okay. If you take an actual class, take the actual class. It will liberate you. Think of it for people that think, "Whoa, that's deep." Think of it as improv. You remember the show Whose Line Is It Anyway with Drew Carey?
I remember watching that show, yes, and that was just phenomenal. Drew Carey's a great host, I gotta say that, and a great comedian too. So
very true. Yeah. Think of it like that, as improv. You're giving us a teacher gives you a suggestion, okay, and then you play it out. It's like show and tell, for crying out loud, when you were a kid, okay, in school for those people, the 20th century people, and acting is play. Acting is play. What do? You play, okay? You express. You take what's inside and you express it on the outside, but you're guided in a certain way. And that's what I do in my own, the Thompson Approach Academy. The techniques, there's 15 in all, okay? 5 major ones, but then there's 10 that complement the 5. Okay. Yeah, that's a great way of saying it, actually.
And what are some of the steps?
Well, how do I say it without saying it? Because I want people to visit my website and my YouTube channel and take, opportunity to coach. I'm available for coaching. Just got to set up an appointment with me. Let me see. I'll give you this. How's this? Hold up your hand. Okay. Separate your fingers. Okay. I'm going to give this. I like to tantalize people's imagination. All right. So there's 4 chambers to a human heart, right? Mm-hmm. Creative people, I take liberty in this. Creative people have 5 chambers because they're more creative. You have 5 fingers, right? Mm-hmm. 5 fingers. Okay.
I was looking at the lines, but that counts though. So
all right. I'm going to give this away. It's copyrighted and trademarked, but here it is. Okay. Go like this. Okay. That's your thumb. That's passion.
Passion.
This is obsession, which is not a bad word. It's not a bad word. Okay. I'll tell you why in a minute. Middle finger is W for words.
Words.
We create everything with our words. Scripted. Okay. When you act, you have a script. In life, you don't have a script. I wish we did. All right. Here in the relationship finger, that is expectation. We all have expectations, and we all exude them through what? Emotion, movement, passion, obsession. The last finger is results. You always have results. Always. So what do we have? We have passion, obsession, words, expectations, and result. What does that spell?
Power.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
So when you take it, and it's the way, there's a lot more steps involved and things like that. And I teach people how to use that in their own life strategically, okay, with purpose, with focus, to breathe life into characters, to breathe life into any role that you would choose, okay? I teach how to break down scripts, how to identify. I love fedoras. I've always worn fedoras. But the
It looks
idea,
great on you, by the way. So
thank you. Actors are detectives. That's what we are. We are detectives. You know, when you do your show, you do your homework, right? Exactly. We're detectives. If you really want to know something, the Bible says, with all thy getting, getteth understanding. What does that mean? Well, with all you're getting, whether it be monetary, whether it be intangibles, which is actually what we live by, okay? You understand it first. It's wise to look before you leap, you know?
Right.
So that is the very basic premise on my technique that I teach.
Okay.
Like I said, I'd say it's a tip of the iceberg. There's a lot more to it, but
and of course, where can people find out more about the Thompson approach, and how do people sign up?
Go to davidthompsoncoaching.co, not com, co. davidthompsoncoaching.co. I chose co because it works better on your phone. It just, the format fits better. Yeah.
I'll probably have to do that and just type it in and make sure we leave out the M. And you also have a podcast as well, too. We'll talk more about that. You listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Also brought to you by official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international war-wearing author Mia Molson's The Missing, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. We'll be back with acting coach and founder of the Thompson Approach, David Thompson, after this time up. We're back to acting coach and founder of the Thompson Approach, a 15-step approach in the academy. David Thompson here on the Mike Wagner Show. Learned a lot from you. Starting off the acting bug, you appeared in Law and Order, The Good Wife, and more. Also teaching the methods as well, too, which is so amazing. We encourage everybody to get out there, do some acting, take classes with him. You also have a podcast as well, too, called Real Actors and Real Answers. And tell us more about that.
Real Actors, Real Answers. I was over at a friend's church, and he's a fantastic actor, singer. His name is Jared Withrow, and he's on Pure Flix. He's just a great guy. You would never guess he's done all those things. He's a very humble guy. And so he was teaching an improv class. So I said, okay, I want to see what you know, because you can always learn more.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm sitting there and we're talking and things. I'm listening to different people. And there was an energy there, a creativity at the time that just seemingly out of nowhere, okay? And I started to think about acronyms. I started to think about things. So we're talking back and forth doing improv, and improv is very exciting. Highly recommend it for actors and non-actors. And so it just came to me, real actors, we need answers. So we always need answers, to questions that we have, because everything is a question in life, right? Right. So I thought, Jared, I got a great idea. He goes, what? Real Actors, Real Answers. But the first word, real, is spelled double E, not EA. The last one is spelled real. So, and I thought, wouldn't it be great if I had a YouTube channel called Real Actors, Real Answers, and also have a podcast, audio podcast, where I interview people, and I could interview you,
Oh, I'd love to. Yeah, it'd be an honor.
Yeah. And, and invite people there, actors, actresses, script writers, podcasters, creative people that would, number one, of course, it would give them, thank you very much. It's given me exposure today, but it would give them exposure. I would learn, they would learn, everybody else would learn how to get real. That's my quote now.
I like it.
Real,
yeah, how to get real. I like it.
Yeah. And so from there on, that's another YouTube channel that I have. You can find all my YouTube channels on my website, But I went with Anchor FM, And I decided, I'm going to learn this. I can learn it. Anybody can learn anything. So every once in a while, maybe once a week, twice a week, I have this bug, this creative idea that I can't get rid of. I got to put somewhere, right? Mm-hmm. So I put it on the audio podcast, Real Actors, Real Answers. There's a lot of things in there. Some of them I have interviews on there with directors and actors that I've gotten a chance to know. But it's a lot of fun. And so, yeah, if you want to be entertained, I try to make it entertaining and learn something and network and grow in your own career, check that out. Real Actors, Real Answers.
And we certainly will do so. And we're here with author David Thompson, the acting coach and founder of the Thompson Approach here on the Mike Wagner Show. In just a few more minutes, we'd love to have you back and learn more about your ventures. What else can we expect in 2022 and beyond, David?
Ooh, okay. The greatest adventure is what lies ahead. That's a quote from The Hobbit, actually, but it's true. The greatest adventure is what lies ahead. What lies ahead? Well, I'm working on a webinar. I've had a coach of mine has helped me tremendously in doing things that I didn't know heads or tails about. His name is Che Brown, and he's helped me create a webinar that's soon to be launched out. And if I could give the URL for that too, they're combined. Okay. But this URL, ThompsonApproachAcademy.com, COM, ThompsonApproachAcademy.com. And what that is going to be is it's going to be on-demand videos where people can access my teaching and access notes and special guest appearances and things like that. In addition to my personal one-on-one coaching that I offer, where they can learn on their own time, okay? Because everybody only has so much time in the day, right? Mm-hmm. I appreciate that. Along with that, there's going to be, I'm going to create a roundtable where we meet every 2 weeks on Facebook and discuss where we're at, where we want to go, and to get people together, Mm-hmm. There's strength in numbers. Be around people that are like you as much as possible, because that's how you're going to grow. Mm-hmm. I learned that with going to UPW with Tony Robbins in 2011. Networking is everything.
Mm-hmm. And certainly as well too. And of course, that's the most important thing. And we're here with David Thompson, acting coach and founder of the Thompson Approach and the Mike Wagner Show. And who do you consider your biggest influence in your career?
My mother. She's the one who started me up in this, gave me these creative suggestions. When she was alive, she always was extremely creative, seamstress. She could have done costumes in Hollywood, for the old movies and that. But she, taking care of a family is more important. There's my brother. He's a big influence with me. He's very smart, very talented, great writer. The things that he says, I gotta say, could you please say that again, but slow down so I get it, There's Nancy Arnfeld. I mentioned her earlier in the show. Different professors at Wayne State University. I give a shout out to the professor when I took singing for the first time. I realized I have a voice thanks to her at Oakland University. Yeah, I remember once, if I may say, she was the kind of person that changes your life forever in a certain way. I remember 8 a.m, we were there. 8 a.m, was singing, okay? Waking up early. And I was over talking to somebody else, and she was encouraging this other girl that was there, right? And I heard this, and I'll never forget it. The girl said, I didn't know I could sing so well. And she said, and her name escapes me, but I see her clearly in my mind. She goes, Well, that's because no one else ever told you you couldn't.
Huh.
And I swung my head around. Whoa, epiphany. I'm going to remember that forever. Yeah. Be around people that encourage you, not discourage you. Or what's worse, they don't offer any feedback whatsoever. That's a little scary and weird, you know? Those people, you don't know whether they're a good apple or a bad apple or just a green apple that hasn't, you know, changed to ready to eat. I don't know. I say weird stuff, but you know, those people in my life has been a great influence. Yeah.
And certainly have me. It made me think of Snow White when you talk about the apple, which good apple, bad apple, or green apple. Maybe you think of that. Take a bite.
Exactly. Hey, that's what you have to do in life. You know, you run across different people and you proverbially speaking, take a bite and it's like, oh, this is sweet. I think, well, you know, there's a connection here. I'm going to investigate it more. Or, you know, the smell, you know, not physically speaking, but their personality. I don't know, maybe I'm going to ask around about you, you know, or hey, maybe they're just not ready to fall off the tree yet. Maybe they're just green. Okay. Give them a chance to grow. You have to be and that there's a lot of chemistry in life, especially in acting, by the way. Some ensembles that you're with, you get along. It's like magic, the magic of the theater, as I say. Others, you find the director does not give you enough direction and you have to direct yourself, which is really hard because you can't see yourself.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
You know, and then you rely on your instincts and what you've learned and other people graciously, you know, helping you along. Either way, you learn though, and you grow.
And there's always room as well too. And of course, we talked about the best advice as well too. So we're here with David Thompson, the acting coach, and also of the 99, the unagency founder of the Thompson Approach here on the Mike Wagner Show. David, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely amazing. Looking forward to having you again soon. Learned a lot from you, and make sure you keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Love to have you back. Once again, tell us about your upcoming projects. What's your website? How do people contact you, or can people simply check out your academy and more in the podcast?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mike. DavidThompsonCoaching.co. Thompson Approach Academy.com. Everything's on there that you need. If you want to contact me for a free 45-minute consultation for coaching, we'll see, you know, if we fit. If we do, I will be more than happy to help you. There's a success page on there of different people that I've helped over the years. For 2022, I said earlier, like I said, I'll repeat, coming up with a fantastic webinar that will be very helpful to many, many people already. I know I have a lot of signups already. So,
wow. Amazing. No words, better get in before it fills up, guys. So listen to him. Once again, David, a very big thank you for your time. You've been totally amazing. Learned a lot from you. Looking forward to having you again soon. Make sure you keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Love to have you back. We wish you all the best. You've got a great future ahead.
Thank you very much, Michael. Thank you.